Big breaking news that's coming in this morning. Another affirmation that China has lied about their casualty count in Galwan. China's lie has been exposed this time by an Australian report which has confirmed that China actually suffered losses 9 times higher than what they reported. This Australian media report also says that there were in fact incidents of major drowning of PLA soldiers, of Chinese soldiers. China again being exposed for the lies and propaganda that they've peddled over Galwan. An Australian media report confirming that the casualty count in China for Chinese soldiers was much higher, 9 times higher than what China claimed it to be. Abhishek Bhalla, defense editor, is going to join us in just a bit with more details on this. But this is yet another affirmation that China did try to peddle fake propaganda on Galwan. There have been many such reports in the past that have said that China did in fact play down its casualty count. And now there's another incident there's been another report that confirms this. This is a report that's come out in the Australian media, which says in fact that China has repeatedly refused to disclose its total casualties. It also says very clearly that at this point it was much higher, that the Chinese casualty count was actually 9 times higher than what China had reported. Abhishek Bhalla is with us for more on this. Abhishek, time and again there have been several such reports that have confirmed that China tried to peddle false propaganda, tried to play down the casualties they suffered in Galwan.
That's right. This is not the first time, Akshita. Something of this sort has been put in the public domain, and there have been several such reports that the Chinese could have lost 30 to 40 people in that clash, and China has not been transparent about the casualties. That's something which is very clear because it took China 8 months, in fact, to come out and acknowledge at least 4 deaths, which they did. And they also gave gallantry awards to 4 people who were killed in action in the Galwan clash. One can never say what the truth is, what the reality is. Indian Army has always maintained that 20 people, 20 soldiers, including the commanding officer of the unit, were killed in action in the Galwan clash. And India was very quick in letting out these numbers. Within 24 hours, transparently, the numbers and identities of people were put out, but that's not been the case with China.
And it's not really surprising, is it, Abhishek, to recount what had exactly happened after the Galwan clash. For the longest time, there was silence from China. They never really stated what the casualty count was. Later, if I'm not wrong, they said that they lost about 4 soldiers in that skirmish. This particular Australian media report that we're talking about, what exactly have they said is the evidence they have to state that, the casualty count is actually much higher?
Well, they've carried out an open source intelligence, contacting social media researchers, people who've been very active on social media and carrying out a very close scrutiny of the events that have taken place. And based on that, they have come up with this report. Obviously, the authenticity is difficult to decipher. But one thing is very clear, that time and again, we keep on getting such reports. This is not the only report which suggests that China had underplayed the entire incident. It had not come out with the facts. And most importantly, it had not come out with the number of casualties that the PLA faced. And while, this has been kept a secret, if one can say, China has also been aggressively carrying out information warfare. We saw on New Year's how there was a Chinese PLA unit that was supposedly at Galwan Valley. That's what they claimed in a video that they had made. Later, it was found out that they were not at the exact spot where the clash took place. In fact, they were further behind by 2.5 kilometers in the buffer zone. Just yesterday, we've had the report of one of the soldiers who was injured in the Galwan clash, being a torchbearer at the Beijing Winter Olympics. So all part of a very strong propaganda warfare that China has been carrying out over the last 2 years.
We're not really surprised, are we, that, China has played down its casualty count. But these kind of reports thereby pile pressure on Beijing to come out with the truth and to clearly establish exactly what the casualty count was for China in the Galwan clashes. Thanks, Abhishek, for joining us with all of